Hey, how's it going? This is Brian from B's Music Shop, and we're here at Big Rapids at the Music Instrument Exchange Guitar Show, and I'm here with Rick, and we were just talking some G&Ls. Rick has an interesting history collecting G&Ls and was telling about this model here. So what have you got here, Rick?
This is a very early model of a George Fullerton signature.
Yeah.
Where Leo Fender from 88 to 91, up until his death, put his signature on the bout of the guitars.
Yeah.
And after that period, George Fullerton came out with his signature model.
Oh, really?
This one was supposedly, I've never taken it apart. I bought it brand new. It's virtually unplayed. In fact, the only thing I did was probably 3 or 4 months ago, I changed the strings. Finally.
Okay.
They were the original strings, and this is originally as it came from the factory. But
nice.
It's supposed to be, I've never been able to pin it down by either a 57 Strat or a 59 Strat. It's got cloth wiring. The pickups were wound to that era. It's got the modern electronics 5-way switch, and you got your humbucking 2 and 4 positions, so it's pretty standard that way.
Yeah.
But it's got a great tone. In fact, helped my brother sell one of his amplifiers earlier. The guy played it, plugged it in, and ended up buying the amplifier. I think it was the guitar myself.
Yeah.
But he bought the amplifier.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's such a cool
But I bought
model.
it, like I said, I bought it brand new, and I liked it so much. I also have a black and white one that I play regularly. This one I just put in the closet and kept. I bought it brand new from the store. The black and white is number 77.
Oh, wow.
So it's identical to this except for the color. And it's just such a great playing guitar. It's got a very hard V-neck.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I've seen these before where it's like shocking. And this isn't even, I feel like I felt some of the Fullerton. He had a signature later on. Was this that? Is this what became that? So, yeah, these were such big V-necks.
Yeah, they were, it's weird. They were very radical on that neck. And I've never met anybody, and I've owned this for a long time, that liked it a little bit.
Yeah,
it's either a good or bad.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a guitar like that. I personally really like it. It gets you really good leverage for bar chords.
Yeah.
It's comfortable on the wraparound. It's a great playing guitar, and thank goodness they're being recognized more and more as far as the value and the quality.
And you have this for sale here at the show, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Getting older, and I don't want to leave it all with my wife. I'm finally breaking it open. At one time, I had almost 50.
Oh, wow.
And they were all the S-style.
Yes.
My brother collected the tele-style, so it worked really good as a team.
Yeah.
What I didn't, what I would find for teles, he would probably buy, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So we never really bucked heads as far as our collecting. But with so many guitars, and as I was getting older, I just didn't know what to do with them. So I started selling them. I'm down to 8 now.
Oh, wow.
And those are
You're
my
doing better
players.
than me. I'm still up there a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a little older than you. Wait till you get to be my age.
I'm back on the rise. I went down, and then I've been on. I keep it. It's hard.
Well,
it's easy to do.
I started getting into pedals.
Yeah.
When I retired, I couldn't afford to buy more guitars, so I bought pedals instead.
Yeah,
that's another wormhole, but that's a whole different video.
Yeah, we were talking those earlier. So tell me about this one. This one, I like that it has the bridge. It's a Skyhawk.
Very unusual.
So, yeah, that's because I think of the Skyhawk. There was a signature? Was it Alice in Chains guitarist? I can't think of one of the guys does like a signature Skyhawk now, and I didn't realize they made one prior to that. So,
well, actually, this model, G&L's first production guitar was called the F100.
Oh, wow.
2 humbuckers. It came out in August of 1980.
Okay.
Originally, a while back, I had number 3, the third guitar in production, the F100s. But then they came out with a single-coiled S500.
Yes.
And they were 2-piece pick guards, big, heavy guitars. And then they came out, the next one was the Nighthawk.
Yes.
And that was this right here. They got sued over the name, so they changed it from Nighthawk to Skyhawk. That was in 1984, I believe. And then in 88, they started putting the signature on these. And these are Leo, it's not real signatures, they're decals, I guess they put on.
Yeah.
But they put those on from 1988 to 1991 at Leo's death, and then they stopped the signature. They ran whatever was in production and stopped.
Yeah.
So this one here is very unusual in that it's got fine tuners on the bridge.
That's what I was noticing, yeah.
And these here are different pots. Normally the F100s had the top hat kind of plastic slip-on kinds, and they had a different pot underneath them. I'm not exactly sure that they were all the same ratings, just a little different, a little hotter guitar. This one here's got like pickups or knobs from a 500, S500, okay. And it also has fine tuners on the top.
Yeah,
that's also not a normal thing. It's all original. I've owned this for probably 20, 25 years.
Yeah, I always love when you can tell the USA G&Ls where they have the little, you flip it over, you can see where they had the pin router. They always have the little dot. You always look
the
for
little
that
dots
dot.
right in there, and that's what they used when they finished the guitar.
Yeah.
That's what held it in place.
Yeah.
I've had more than one person that didn't know that. They go, oh, this guitar's been refinished, or this guitar's been worked on. I said, no, that's just the way they used it in production.
Because they did it the way they did it back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains did a reissue for him on the Space Hawk, and because they had the same fine tuners.
He played the Rampage.
Oh, the Rampage. I'm thinking of it wrong. You're right. I'm wrong.
That was a one knob single humbucker, and he liked it. That was also 84. And he had one he played. Of course, he modded the living bejesus out of it.
Yeah.
But then they came out with a signature Jerry Cantrell.
You're right. I was in my mind. I was putting it to that one, but that's so cool.
So, but at one time it was amazing when my brother and I started collecting. You could buy American-made G&Ls for what people were asking for foreign-made Fenders and or Epiphones, and because they saw the name Fender. They thought it was a better guitar.
Yeah.
But I play a Fender Strat. I have one. I love them.
Yeah.
And the only thing is with the G&Ls, I think they're where Fenders would be today if Leo had kept the company.
Yes.
The things you see in G&L you would have seen in Fender guitars, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Of that. In fact, he got sued over, Leo Fender did, over the phrase, the real ones.
Yeah.
When he came out with that, then Fender got all hissy about it and said, you can't say that anymore.
Yeah.
So
I always thought the tremolo, he did a really good job when he went, because I feel like it seemed like he was never quite happy with it and always kind of tinkering with it, and I feel like that was one of the tremolos he really kind of landed on.
It's called a dual fulcrum.
Yeah.
And fulcrum obviously is your pivot point. There's two of those. I'm not sure, I'm not a technician, but it is one of the most stable trems. The guitar stays in tune. It's got a floating trem, so you can go up or down with it.
Yeah.
But I would have to say, in my experience, the only other one that is as stable and easy to use is the ones on Paul Reed.
Yeah. And I think those are two posts as well.
Right.
I mean, they originally started with the 5 screws and the vintage tremolos. But I think a lot of the companies just keep them for tradition when, these are still, a lot more stable when they put the posts in. If we look at a Floyd Rose or something that uses the same idea,
and this is so much more simpler than a Floyd
way
Rose.
More, yes. Yeah.
I'm not, I just like this tremolo system. They came out in earlier ones, they had a smaller arm, diameter arm. Now, those are very hard to find if you see them out there. And an original early 80s G&L vibrato arm can bring $50 to $100.
Wow.
Just because there's not a lot of them out there.
Yeah, I always love the pickups they did too. I thought they did a great job making those pickups. Yeah. They tweaked them, and they always. I like the ASAT pickups a lot. I know you're more into the legacy model, but boy, the
S500.
Yes,
the S500s and the ASATs were MFD's magnetic field density.
Yeah.
And they're just a hotter output. If you like a little hotter pickup, I used to have quite a few S500s.
Yeah.
And I really like the hotter output sound of them. And the real earlier ones were quite a bit bigger, heavier, and just a lot more tonal quality to it, I thought. Yeah. But they were a little harder, a little more ungainly to play.
Did you like the Z coils ever? I was thinking Will Ray from the Hellcasters.
I love the Z coils. Yeah. I'm building a telecaster, and I've got a F100 splittable pickup I want to put in the neck position. And then I've got a Z coil off a Comanche 6.
Yeah.
And those are also splittable. You can the Comanche 6 came out, had 6 pin switches on it. The first 3 turned the pickup on and off. And the second 3 ran the top half of the pickup. In the middle position, it ran the whole pickup, and in the down position, it ran just the bottom half of the pickup.
Oh, really?
So you had all these different, 42 different combinations of, but it was one of the most versatile, great sounding guitars that I had. I had 4 of them at one time. They're all gone.
Yeah.
I sold the last 2 probably a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But anyway, they're just great guitars.
Such a cool guitar, and such like it's yeah. Earlier we were chatting about it. I just like you were such a wealth of knowing where these things are. It's such a cool company when you really go down the rabbit hole with it. So.
I tell you, it's amazing to me that more people don't play them. You see them once in a while, and everybody that plays them, they act surprised that it plays so well.
Yeah.
And I used to live in the Lansing area, and Elderly Instruments started out. They were a G&L dealer.
Yeah.
And they had such poor response to them, they ended up giving up the company. In fact, they stuck them way in the back. You had to really look for them.
Yeah.
So I don't think the stores gave them the respect that was due at the time of their release or when they were playing. But yeah, I just love the guitars. Yeah. They're just great guitars.
Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate you talking to me today. Thank
my
you very
pleasure.
much.
I enjoy it. That was it?
That's
hey,
it.
That didn't even hurt.
No, this should be really easy.
At least not yet.
No, it's great. Typically, I just